What is going on? So you clicked on this video to get into trucking. Well, thank you for clicking on it. I hope I can provide you with some valuable information to help you get into the trucking industry easily and simply. My name is Misfit Trucker. I've been driving truck for 6 years, and I went through a truck driving school in Las Vegas, Nevada called Southwest Truck Driver Training. After that, I had left and went to rail transportation and then thus moved on my career to other places. So, you're looking to get your CDL? Well, I'm going to give you some tips on how to get your CDL, what you need to get your CDL, and what you're going to be expecting after you get your CDL. So stay tuned. So, the first thing you need to know is you can be 18 years old to get your CDL, your commercial driver's license. However, you can only drive local. Some companies may hire you if you have a job already lined up that require you to get your CDL intrastate, then go for it. Most of the time though, insurance companies require a driver to be 21 and have multiple years of experience. Now, when you turn 21, you will be able to go over the road. And a lot of companies will hire you as a first year driver, and they will train you. Some will even reimburse you for truck driving school. But what if you don't want to go to truck driving school? So you've done a lot of research and you decide, I don't want to go to truck driving school. I don't have the money. I don't want to drive back and forth. Well, I'll tell you, I had to do that. I lived in a place called White Hills, Arizona. My school was in Las Vegas. It was a 60-mile drive to truck driving school. 120-mile round trip, but I found people to stay with in Vegas. That made it a little bit easier. But anyway, I digress. So what you need to do is look at companies that actually do paid training. There's a lot of companies out there. In fact, there's so many I can even list on here. But the thing is there's good companies and bad companies, all right? But you still got to do your research, because some companies that I may say are bad might be good for you. And what a lot of people don't understand is that these companies, whether they're bad or good, are always a way to get your foot into the door. Now, I can promise you that your first year of training is going to suck. Your first year of trucking is going to suck, because the pay will not be what you're expecting, because you probably looked on Google to see how much truckers get paid. Well, most of the time, first year drivers don't get paid much, and if you find the right company, you get in where you need to get into, hell, you can be making good money within your first 6 months of trucking. Now, when it comes to truck driving schools though, you need to do your research and make sure that they give you the right amount of time, the right amount of training. Most trucking companies require you to have over 150 hours of training, maybe 160, but that's not all. If you decide to go to these schools, make sure that they are training you for everything. It's not just a 1 week deal for $500, $600. No, those are scams. You want to make sure that these companies are not just trying to push you out like cookie cutter, they'll get your money. No, you want to make sure that they're testing you, training you, teaching you everything. So that way, when you do take your permit test, you will pass it. But that also is depending on you. You must study for that CDL test. When I took my general knowledge test and the written test, I struggled because I didn't study. You guys can go into the DMV, grab your CDL book, and it's free. But the cost to get your permit and all that does cost money. Now, one thing you need to know before getting your CDL is, are you healthy enough to have a 2-year DOT physical? A DOT physical is basically saying that you're not going to have a heart attack or a stroke while driving on the road. You're going to be healthy. Some companies, like rail, will actually measure your neck to make sure that you don't have sleep apnea, because apparently sleep apnea messes with your sleep and your rest, and you're too tired to drive. I kind of have my disagreements with a lot of that, but there's some people out there who actually like the sleep apnea test and like the sleep apnea machine and all that. So make sure you're pretty healthy, or healthy enough for the 2-year. But if you can't get a 2-year, you can still get a 6-month, a 9-month, a year. I think it's 6 months, 1 year, and then 2 years. But I could be wrong. I've heard of people getting 1 month and stuff. So look more into that. So after taking your test and all that, you're going to be taking your driven test and your air brakes test and your pre-trip test. At first, when you do your written test, it's going to be general knowledge, and if you want endorsements, you can do hazmat and combination, and heck, if you want the school bus one, a passenger endorsement. But you're going to be taking your pre-trip, your air brakes, and your driven test. That test was easy. Passed that one my first try. I'm more of a hands-on learner than a study, written down type learner, whatever they call that. So prepare for that. It's not that hard. You just got to have the right mindset and stay positive into getting into all this. All right, now something I want you all to do before you get into the trucking industry, start doing your research on what company you're going to start your trucking career with. Now, if you've already got a trucking company that you're going to get your CDL through and you've already done your research, good. But understand that some of these companies will require you to work for them for a certain amount of time before they let you go. And if you try to leave early, they have you under contract. You're gonna have to end up paying them back for the training that they give you. Nothing is really free, but it's still, like I said, it's a foot in the door, and there's a lot of people that go to like CR England and Swift and CFI and stuff that they have positive reviews about and negative reviews about. You get your pros and cons to everything when it comes to trucking. There is no perfect trucking company for anybody out there, I can promise you that. But it's still a great experience to actually have your CDL and get behind the wheel of a truck. So now that you have your CDL, it's time to go to your company. What are you gonna bring with you? Well, first off, understand that you're not gonna be rich. So make sure you, during your training, during your CDL stuff, during your CDL schooling, whether it be the paid training or whether it be the CDL school, whatever the case may be, make sure you have some money saved up before you're getting all this. Because once you go on the road, they're gonna put you on a salary, whether it be 50 bucks a day, $100 a day, $200 a day, something like $500 a week, whatever the case may be, you're gonna be broke. So make sure you have some pocket money saved up, because what's going to happen is once you choose your company, you're probably going to end up going to a big corporation like Schneider, Prime, Werner, Swift, CRST, CR England, Knight, you name it. And once you choose these guys are either going to bust you out, rent you a car, fly you to a hotel, and then you get your 2 weeks of orientation, up to a month, up to 6 months, I've heard. And now it's going to be 1 week of orientation. Basically, it's going to be paperwork. It's going to be drug tests. It's going to be another DOT physical. See, that's what I don't like, is that you have to pay to get your DOT physical to get your CDL. And then the company that you go to will pay for your next DOT physical. So you got to take the physical twice in most cases. But when I say 6 months orientation, I meant 6 months of training. 2 weeks of training, 3 weeks of training, 1 month of training. These companies will put you on the truck with another driver. Some companies have 3 bunk trucks, some companies have 2 bunk trucks. And basically, you want to make sure you pack light, very light, and prepare for the struggle of dealing with someone. If you're not somebody that gets along with anybody, then you're gonna have to just suck it up, buttercup, because you're gonna be in the truck with somebody for a while. But if you're somebody who enjoys other people, then you'll be okay. But you're gonna have to pack light. Bring like a little neck pillow. Don't worry about regular pillow unless you want to. Sleeping bag, clothes, all that stuff, because you're only gonna have a little bit of space when you get into your trainer's truck. Now, what happens after orientation, all that, you get with the trainer, you go out for however mandated time, and then they assert whether you're ready to get into a semi-truck by yourself or not. Now, I want to make it very clear. Just because you went to truck driving school does not mean you know everything. Yes, it's fresh in your mind, but the trainer that has been there for how many ever long years, and some companies, even though I don't like, we'll say 6 months, but the trainer will know more than you about the company and their policies. So make sure you listen to him. Don't argue with him, because remember, he's the one that's going to be reporting back whether you're ready to go on the road or not. So be respectful to the trainer. All right, he's doing his best. If he's a dick, just deal with it. All right, now don't fully just quit a job because you have a bad trainer. Some companies will allow you to get a new trainer. Secondly, study the Green FMCSA book, learn the laws, because once you get into that truck yourself, you're going to have a bunch of laws that you have to know. I don't even know all the laws yet. I study, I try to get better with my knowledge of the law every day, as you should too. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button as well. If you guys have any questions, please leave it down in the comment section below. I will try to adjust them as quickly and efficiently as possible, and maybe make a video on them. Trucking is a great career, and you can make a lot of money with a lot of hard work. It's more about mindset and what you want to put into it. There's a lot of good gigs, local, regional, and over the road. Being a family man, it's really hard to go over the road. And if you're getting into trucking and you have a family, it's going to be hard for the first year because you need to get that experience in. It's all about having experience in the trucking industry. But I hope you had a wonderful day. And like I said, please hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And if y'all have any other tips you want to add in, please leave it down as well in the comment section below. So y'all be safe. Misfit Trucker, out.